So this one time, it was blizzarding out really bad, and this guy came in asking if we could fill propane, and I said, sure, why not? And I immediately regret my decision as we start walking out to our propane tank, and he's sitting there ranting to me about how he went to this other store to get a propane exchange, and he had to do it himself, and it wasn't his job, and I was just immediately regretting my decision. So we reach the tank area, and I start putting his tank onto the little hose, and I'm sitting there having a conversation with him saying, hey, I know this store, they're really short-staffed, you just gotta be patient with them, and they will help you out. And I look, and I turn over my shoulder, and he's gone. And I look in the distance, and I see him hop into his truck, and he just sits there. And I'm like, what? So I'm standing there in the middle of a blizzard, filling propane by myself because this guy had the audacity to say it's too cold and basically sit in his truck. So after filling this propane tank, he comes out and he says thanks and then drives off. And I'm like, what? Really? That's it? So now I'm waiting for when he comes back and ask for another propane fill, and I'm gonna look him dead in the eye and be like, sure, I'll fill it if you stand out there with me. And if he says no, I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't fill. And if he has any complaints, go somewhere else, because I know darn well we're the only place in town that fills propane. So good luck, buddy. Choose your choices wisely. Yeah, and I'll let you know if he comes back. This might be a little aggressive, but I didn't appreciate it. Call it Minnesota passive-aggressive. Thank you very much. So do you all remember this guy? He came in asking if we could fill propane, and I said, sure, why not? Well, sadly, I don't have a part 2 update, but I do have another story about him. And yes, I know it's the same guy because you never forget how mad he made me. So I never forgot his face. But anyways, it goes like this. He was trying to get gas at our pumps, and I got an alert saying his card was declined. So he came in and he was like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, sorry, sir, your card says it's declined. And he's like, that's BS. And I'm like, well, how about we do a prepay? And then we can just run it through here. These card readers are newer. And he's like, I shouldn't have to do that. There's money on this card. And I said, I understand, sir, but I have to do it this way. And then he got mad, and then he did it. And sure enough, his card was declined again. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, sir. It says your card's declined. Did you possibly want to try the ATM and get some cash? And he was like, no, there's money on this card. God damn it. I know there is. And I'm like, sorry, our computer says it declined. So, and he was grumbling, and he went back and he went to the ATM, and then he came back and he's like, all your machines are broken. You keep saying I have no money, and I know there's money in that account. And I'm like, if one, the gas pump says you're declined, my cashier register says you're declined, and now the ATM, which gets manual maintenance on it, like regular maintenance, says you're declined, I'm pretty sure you're declined. And then, instead of just accepting that, he started to mansplain to me. I get unemployment on these days, and I should be getting my unemployment today, and I get this much at this time every month. And I'm like, uh-huh. He's like, so that means I have money on this card. And I'm like, uh-huh. He's like, will you authorize me to get gas? And I said, no. And he's like, why the hell not? And I'm like, because your card is declined. How many times do I have to tell this to you? And long story short, he got really mad at me. And he's like, I'm going to talk to your boss. And I said, go for it. And he left, and I think he came back the next day with his money in his account. Like, maybe you want to wait 1 to 2 days until your money gets on the card. It's not like an instant thing, bro. But that was the last I've ever really had to deal with him. Like, otherwise he's been kind of nice. He just comes in, gets whatever he wants, and he's gone. But those are the only 2 times that's really happened. So I hope that's good enough for a part 2. Yeah.